Everybody, and thanks for joining us in today's webinar. We're delighted to have you join us as we dive into the transformative world of 5G technology, and we see how Inseego is shaping that future of connectivity. Vertex Wireless is thrilled to become a direct distributor for Inseego and add their portfolio of 5G routers, antennas, hotspots, and network managed cloud solutions to the Vertex portfolio. We've got a very exciting and informative webinar planned for you today. Inseego has a very rich history of innovation, and since their founding have been at the forefront of connectivity solutions, pioneering advancements in 5G and IoT. 5G technology is more than just an evolution of mobile networks, guys. It's a revolution that promises to change the way we live and work. Inseego leads this charge in the 5G revolution with their cutting-edge 5G solutions and designed to deliver unparalleled performance, reliability, and security. Throughout the webinar today, we will share some more background on Inseego as a company. We'll take a preview of their robust product portfolio of routers, modems, hotspots, and devices. And we'll provide some background and success stories from customers that have leveraged Inseego's 5G solutions to drive their own innovation and achieve their own business objectives. Before I get started, a couple quick housekeeping items. Real quick, many of you know me. My name is Mike Fleming, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Vertex. And it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to the Inseego team. Joining me today are several new friends from Inseego that I've had the pleasure of working with as we onboard and initiate a partnership to go to market. First of my friends at Inseego is Carrie Bolding. Carrie is Inseego's Senior Vice President of Global Channel Sales and Distribution. Carrie joined Inseego in November of last year, but she has over 20 years of IT channel experience, starting with over a decade in distribution. And then she's also spent the last 8 years building channel programs for 3 different OEMs. In just a few short months at Inseego, she's built and launched a brand new partner program, which you'll find out more here about in just a minute. That program is aimed to drive revenue through partnerships and collaboration. She rebuilt the sales organization, and she even signed a new distributor, Vertex, which is why we're here today. Before I hand the mic over to Carrie, a couple quick housekeeping items. A recorded version of this webinar will be available following our meeting. We'll also make the presentation deck available, and that'll be emailed to you at the conclusion of our call. So feel free to share these materials with your coworkers and teams. Please also feel free to join us on LinkedIn and Facebook for more future information on Inseego. Next, we love to hear questions and comments from you. As you guys know, I'm very engaged and back and forth, so there will be a brief Q&A at the end of the webinar. Right now, I have all your microphones muted, and that's just an effort to reduce background noise and interference during the webinar. But I will unmute you at the end of the presentation, and then you can ask verbal questions if you so choose. There's also a chat section at the bottom of your GoToWebinar control panel, so feel free to place questions or comments in that chat section, and we can answer your questions throughout the webinar. For those of you guys who are just joining us, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're just getting started, and I appreciate you joining us for the debut of the Inseego portfolio. Whether you're a seasoned professional in the telecom space or just beginning to explore router possibilities, this webinar will be a very enlightening and enriching experience for you. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired as we uncover the boundless opportunities that await in the world of IoT. Carrie, without further ado, let's unlock the full potential of Inseego together. The stage is all yours, my friend.
Thank you so much, Mike. I certainly do hope we inspire you all. So we are super excited to kind of embark on this journey with Vertex. I've known Brian and some of the team over there for a couple of years, and having the opportunity to work with them again. And as I joined Inseego about 6 months ago, so it's kind of exciting. As Mike mentioned, I've got 20 years or so of experience working with hundreds of manufacturers to, improve their go-to-market strategy with the channel, and so that we can optimize on the full strength and might. We're a pretty small organization, and so we certainly rely on partners like you that have joined us today to expand our footprint in the market. Over the course of the next hour or so, you'll learn a bit more about our products and solutions and what makes Inseego special. We hope that this encourages you to partner with us in making your customers connect easier. whether they need temporary day one access at a new construction site or 5G failover, ensuring they're online all the time. Inseego's got you covered. One of the very first questions we get at the very end of a webinar is usually, hey, can you provide a copy of the slides? Mike mentioned this earlier that they're going to email them out, but guess what? We're going to address that question right out of the gate. And so you'll see on the screen here, we've provided a QR code to access a copy of today's presentation deck, as well as some additional product portfolio videos. Be sure to check it out. You can also, by registering using the QR code, we're going to be giving away one of our flagship products, the MiFi X Pro. Glenn's going to talk a little bit more about that later, but certainly make sure you take a look at that QR code and enter your details. All right, Alex, let's get started with the agenda. Joining me today for the presentation is our Chief Revenue Officer and my fearless leader and friend, Steve Harmon. He joined Inseego about a month or so before I did, so back in October, and he oversees the company's global sales organization, marketing, business development. And for those of you not super familiar with Inseego, he's going to talk a bit about what establishes us as one of the pioneers of wireless technology. Next up, we'll hear from Glenn Longley, our Vice President of Product Management. And he's been in the industry for about 20 years or so too, working to solve problems in machine control, industrial automation, and wireless systems. His current focus is helping Inseego bring market-leading IoT solutions to the industry and in the enterprise. Our solutions have quite the wow factor, and I think he's going to give you all a preview of that today. Then I'll jump back in and talk a little bit about our go-to-market strategy and emphasis on the channel and how we partner together. And finally, we have Alan and Rocky tag teaming the last section. Alan is our Director of Partner Sales for MSOs, MSPs, MVNOs, regional carriers, and has over 25 years of experience in this space. Rocky is responsible for our Solutions Architect team, who provide a fantastic support to our clients during the overall sales cycle. We do have a bit of a mixed audience join us today, but even if you don't fall into one of those categories I mentioned, highlighted in section 4, please stick around because they're going to dig a little bit more into the case studies of our solutions. All right, Alex, next slide, please. Okay, one more chance. If you missed it earlier, here's that QR code again to access today's presentation and to qualify for the MiFi X Pro that we're giving away to one lucky participant. All right, without further ado, our fearless leader, Steve Harmon.
Thank you for the introduction, Carrie. It's great to be with one on the call today and our new partner, Vertex Wireless. Super excited about the opportunity to build a meaningful partnership with each of you. I know there's probably some people on the call today who are familiar with Inseego and others maybe who are not. So we're going to try and provide a good grounding in our company and really what makes us different. So first of all, Inseego is an American company. We're headquartered in San Diego, California. That's important. We'll talk about that. We are headquartered in a state and a country that have laws around data privacy that we are required to follow. And that's really important because there's a lot of cellular OEMs that are not headquartered in the United States. And there's a lot of Chinese risk out there, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the next couple of minutes. Fundamentally, we design and manufacture both fixed and mobile wireless routers, gateways, antennas, MiFi branded hotspots. That's really what we're known for. That's our DNA. A lot of people, if you were to ask them, what do you know about Inseego, they would say MiFis. We were first to innovate in 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and we actually own the trademark on that term, MiFi. It's a branded term. We own the trademark. We defend it. And then we also manufacture 2 variants of cloud management software to help you and your customers manage the chaos of deployed cellular assets. We have a product called Inseego Connect, which is a mobile device management solution, and a much more robust network management SD-WAN solution called Inseego SD Edge. And today, there are tens of millions of Inseego devices that are deployed and in use and in production environments across the world, across really a broad customer base, a little bit of consumer, all the way up to large enterprise, some state and local U.S. federal government, mixed in between. We're a publicly traded company. I joined the company about 6 months ago, and Carrie joined about 6 months ago. it's a new day at Inseego, right? So new chief revenue officer, that's me. New head of channels, that's Carrie. We've got a new CFO. The old CEO is out. We got a new acting executive chairman, new board member, new customer product officer starting next week. We have a new head of service providers, a number of new salespeople throughout the organization. It truly is a new day at Inseego. Publicly traded company, about 350 employees, traded on NASDAQ, and really excited to continue to lead this journey and lead this transformation of the company. So on the next slide, a little bit about what I talked about earlier. We have a deep history of innovating in cellular technology. We were the first company to deliver broadband speed internet over a USB connection. We were the first with a 3G hotspot and a 4G hotspot. We today have a very robust portfolio of indoor and outdoor fixed wireless solutions, as well as some light industrial solutions, and of course our MiFi device. So a broad range of technologies today to help you solve the problems with your customers and your particular use cases with robust and secure solutions from Inseego. So let's talk a little bit more about that security. And those of you who follow the news on the next slide, we talk a little bit about the risk of Chinese manufactured devices and the risk of implementing those devices in American networks. And many cellular OEM providers out there, you have to kind of look at what's underneath the covers. So oftentimes there's a Chinese cellular radio inside some of these devices. And that radio could be manufactured by a company called Quectel or Fibocom. And if you follow the work that's being done with the FCC and in the United States Senate, both those companies are on the fast track to being added to the FCC's covered list. This is the same list that Huawei and ZTE and Hikvision and a number of other Chinese companies that have been proven to be military threat actors have been added to. It prevents them from being purchased in North American networks. You can't use state and local or federal dollars to buy those particular components. And so I think it's really important that folks know that we don't use modules. We certainly don't use Chinese cellular modules. We don't use any module. Everything we do is a chip on board design with Qualcomm. We are actually co-located with Qualcomm. If you go out to San Diego, our building's right in the middle of the Qualcomm campus. Our engineers go to work in their building. Their engineers come to work in our building. And everything we do is a Qualcomm chip on board design. And so we control the entire design in every one of our products. We control all the IP, all the design, and everything is developed in the United States. And that makes it a lot easier for us to move faster, launch products faster, troubleshoot products faster. There's never this finger pointing back and forth between, is it a module problem? Is it some other component? Like, the whole thing is ours. It's an Inseego design, and so we own it. And that's what contributes to the fact that we have the lowest return rate in the industry. We have a 0.06% return rate. No one else can, even hold a candle to that. And that's why a number of the very large cellular providers, T-Mobile, Verizon, US Cellular, and others, have for years and years and years sold as stock products Inseego devices and high volumes of Inseego devices. So in addition to using this Qualcomm architecture, which is unique to our design, and not using third-party modules, everything we build is TAA compliant. So we're manufacturing in TAA compliant countries. That means we can sell these products to state and local and federal government customers. All of our products are FIPS 140-2 certified. That means that we have passed stringent security requirements that are applicable both for the Canadian government as well as the US government, that our devices will protect your data, both at rest and in transit. And that is applicable across our entire product portfolio. That's a very, very unique thing, and we're very, very proud of that. We have SIPA compliance in all of our products. So if you want to take one of our indoor FWA solutions and put it on the teacher's desk and run Wi-Fi for that entire classroom, we can guarantee you that the content filtering on that device is applicable and in alignment with the SIPA regulations to keep our school children from the dark corners of the internet. All of our cloud management technology is FedRAMP certified, runs in the Azure FedRAMP Gov cloud. And so when you think of not just a reliable solution, but a highly secure solution for protecting communications when real work or real lives are on the line, mission critical communications, that's where you should think of Inseego. No one challenges us on our security story. And we're not always the lowest cost provider, because there are a number of low cost Chinese providers out there. That's not us. We're not in the race to the bottom. And I know many folks on this call probably compete in, deals against some of those providers where it feels like a race to the bottom. That's not the business for us. We're a US company. We make a differentiated product portfolio, highly secure, highly reliable, and we've been doing it for years and years and years. And that's why so many of our customers have come to rely on Inseego. We have tens of thousands of devices deployed because of these reasons right here. On the next slide, you'll see that there's some additional differentiation that we're able to recognize with our presence in San Diego, where our headquarters is. And one of the things that makes our devices sleek, that's the word I'll use, with the exception of one of our devices, the S2000, all of our devices have integrated antennas in the device. We're really, really, really excellent at RF design. Our radio frequency engineers are some of the best in the business. And we are really, really good at designing products that can handle tons and tons of RF frequency and RF energy with optimal performance on, thermals and battery. And our devices, as a result, look good. They don't have a bunch of antennas that are popping off the back of them. You can put it on the desk in a doctor's office, or on the desk in a lawyer's office, or next to a point of sale system in a boutique or a fast casual restaurant. The integrated, sleek design of the Inseego products is really what we're known for, and you'll see that when Glenn shows some of the product pictures here in a few minutes. In addition to being able to walk across the street and work with our partner Qualcomm, and literally our engineers have been working with the same engineers at Qualcomm for 20 plus years, we own our own lab in San Diego. Many of our competitors don't own their own lab. What you see here in this picture is one of our 2 Satimo chambers. We have an entire lab. It's a CTIA certified, authorized 5G test lab. And this, in conjunction with having Qualcomm right across the street, allows us to move quickly, to innovate fast, to release products faster than our competitors. We are always the first to market on the next version of the Qualcomm Snapdragon chip, whether that's the 55 series, the 60 series, the upcoming 72 series. We are always out in front of everyone else, and we're able to innovate very, very quickly. Because we do all this testing in our own lab, when we go to PTCRB certifications or we go for carrier certifications, we walk in the door having run 75% of the race already. And so it helps us get through these carrier certifications faster and to release products into the channel that you can sell to delight your customers faster than our competition. And the final slide on my section is about the market. I learned a long time ago in my career, you want to work at a company that has, great products and great people and great leadership. And I think we have all 3 of those. But you also want to work at a company that is in the right industry segment. You need a little bit of sort of that, the rising tide that lifts all boats. You need a macroeconomic trend, whether that was, big data or cybersecurity. For us, it's the 5G market. This is a massive market, an exploding market. All of you on this call have customers every single day that are solving new business problems and creating new businesses, leveraging 5G speeds and technology. The capability that we're able to do things wirelessly, where previously they had to be wired, is opening up entirely new markets and creating new businesses. So we've got that going for us, right? We've got that big 5G emerging global booming trend that's helping to drive Inseego forward. We're a unique company in the fact that we have one leg in 2 different parts of this market. So we are participants in the FWA space, the fixed wireless access market. And we also have, with our MiFi and our history of innovation in MiFi, we've got another leg in the global mobile hotspot market. And so I think we've got the ability to double dip, if you will, in this booming 5G market. And that is something that our investors certainly like. And that is something that makes Inseego unique compared to some of our competition in this space. And so with that, I'll say thank you again to the Vertex team for the partnership. We're thrilled to be a part of their ecosystem and look forward to working with all of you to build pipeline and close deals. And with that, I will hand over to our Vice President of Product Management, Glenn Longley, to take you through the product portfolio. Glenn, over to you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to give you a little overview of our portfolio. So we've got some exciting things to talk about today, not only a run through of our current product set, but also a little sneak peek on a new product that's coming very soon as well. So if you would, take us to the next slide. And just to start out, when we talk about our portfolio, we really cover a very wide range of industries, market segments, and use cases. There's consumer, there's small, medium business, enterprise, as well as some industrial and that side of the world as well. So a really wide range of different offerings, and we've got a pretty broad portfolio to help you find the right solution for your customers. Next up. So when we look at our current portfolio that's available in the channel right now, you can really divide it up into 4 segments. We've got our mobile hotspot, and we'll go into a little more detail on that, but that's fairly new to the channel. Great product. Our FX and FG indoor routers. So those are devices designed to go into an IT closet, into a shelf in the back of your retail location, maybe even right out in front, so you've got great Wi-Fi. Very attractive packaging, internal antennas, makes for a really good set. We've got a couple of outdoor CPEs. So we call them CPEs, they still have routing stacks, but the FW2000 and the FW2010, which has millimeter wave, and then the S2000, which is really our industrial gateway. Give you a little bit more flexibility on antennas, as well as the ability for remote mounting and that semi-industrial type environments. Next up. All right, MiFi X Pro. When people think about Inseego, you think about the flagship product for Inseego over the past decade. People really think about that MiFi brand and that mobile hotspot. This is a product which has done enormously well for us with carrier partners over the years, and we're really excited to bring this into the channel. This is that kind of peak premium hotspot that's out there. So we're not talking about the inexpensive ones that maybe they're going to work, maybe they don't. They've got limited band coverage. They've got a battery that doesn't last very long. This is really something that folks can go out and work on every day in their mobile environment, whether they're a remote worker or whether they're an agent driving around in a truck all the time. So there's lots of different applications where this fits. Again, excellent performance. You've got Wi-Fi 6 built into this. So even though it's got an Ethernet port, it's not necessary to use. And most use cases, people are connecting via Wi-Fi on this. Really an all-day battery. So depending on your use case and how much data you're pushing through, that battery can keep you going for a normal workday. So on and off your computer throughout the day without having to be plugged in and tethered. Of course, these devices in the channel are going to come with the ability to work with our Inseego Connect and SD Edge cloud offering. So that means that you'll be able to remotely manage and monitor those devices, as well as do things like track the GPS location. Where was it last on? And we bring in that FIPS 140-2 software module in conjunction with the SD Edge application to give you secure networking that's really been certified by NIST that software module is giving you the level of encryption that we say it does. It's really a great device. We sell tens of thousands of these every quarter through our channel partner, many tens of thousands of these. Couple of use cases that fit very well. We talked about the mobile workforce. Anybody who's traveling, if you're a business traveler, throwing one of these in your bag just makes it really easy. And then one other example, which I'll throw out there, is a large education where there's a school district out on the West Coast. They've got more than 5,000 of these units that are deployed for their district, all managed by Inseego Connect. Next slide. All right, FX2000E is really the workhorse small medium business connection for the 5G market. It's an amazing form factor, internal antennas. People see this and they're really wowed. If you haven't seen one of these FX units in person, I encourage you to get a demo, see it, really compare it with some of the other solutions out there, and you'll be amazed about the level of performance for the type of package that you can get for this device. No dead bug antenna sticking up on the back. You can really put it anywhere. It's easy to set up. Those internal antennas, all you have to do is have an active SIM in there, plug it into the wall, and you've got a connection. If you needed to connect to other Ethernet downstream networking equipment, no problem, you can do that. Otherwise, it's as simple as logging into the Wi-Fi. It's a very, very capable. Couple of great retail locations, or a couple of great examples are retail stores. We've got a healthcare system that's using this at more than 2,000 locations. Major provider for either backup or primary connection, depending on where it is and how much is going on. We've got a bunch of banks and other, those fast casual food locations, as well as the standard retail folks that you would think about. Again, using it either as primary or part of a failover solution. Most of these managed with Inseego Connect. And then finally, with this device, we've also got a wireless internet service provider that's got more than 5,000 customers really in that consumer level application where they're using this for that standard internet service with, again, management through Connect. So a very, very flexible platform that you can use in a lot of different use cases. Next up. All right, FX3110. This is a device that's coming very soon. In the FX3100 family, we've got more than 50,000 devices already deployed with a carrier partner, and we're bringing this to the channel. It brings all of that FX2000 goodness that you get from the previous device, but adds a second Ethernet port, which really enables a great use case of inline failover. So you can have one of those as a WAN port, one of those as a LAN port. You plug this in the middle, it just works for failover. Nobody has to touch anything. A very, very capable device. It also bumps us up to the X62 generation. So not only do we get a little bit more Wi-Fi connections with up to 64, but we also get a little bit better 5G SA capability, and a multi-carrier version of this will be coming in early Q3 and will coexist alongside the existing FX2000 in our product offering going forward. So again, very capable product. We're excited to bring that out. Next up. FG2000, this is the big brother to those two former ones. It is a full hardware-based router. So it has a separate processor for the networking stack. It's an IPQ processor that runs alongside the Qualcomm SDX55. Very capable. You've got a 5 gig port for your WAN or LAN connection, meaning you can have this as a failover solution with a WAN, or you can have a split connection where you're using both the cellular and you're using the hardware WAN with load balancing between the two for some WAN aggregation without sacrificing any of the performance of your high-speed wireline connection while still adding some really great capabilities on the cellular. So really cool box, lots of stuff. You can do things like split tunneling, VLANs with that SD Edge solution. It does offer full power Wi-Fi, meaning you get a little bit better range, and it goes up to 128 clients. Overall, a great box. A couple of use cases, some larger retail locations that aren't quite large enough to need that full Wi-Fi mesh. So this can cover a little bit larger space. And then some high-end consumer applications as well, where folks are using this for some folks that have a little bit more demands on the networking side of things. Next up. All right, let's switch over to our outdoor CPEs. Again, we call them a CPE. It still has routing capabilities built in. So if you want to use this as your router, you certainly can do so. But this really and truly is the best all-in-one outdoor CPE you can get. There's no external antennas that you have to worry about. Did I connect the right one? Did these things get weatherproofed correctly? The whole box is IP67. A few different mounting options. You see it with the J-arm there in the picture. It's a directional panel antenna, so you can go out really to the very edge of cellular coverage in places where your phone can't even see that there's a signal and still get a reliable connection. We've got some installations out there where it's surprising that they work, but they give them very reliable connections. Don't always get the best speeds out there at the edge of cell, but when you're in a strong signal area, this can give you some of those best speeds, and it optimizes the network side because you can go to those higher order of modulation with that stronger signal and have more optimal use for the carrier bandwidth. So again, some really cool capabilities in this. Installation with a mobile app. So you've got the ability for both a professional installer to walk through a certain workflow as well as a home installer to be able to make sure that you're checking all the right boxes, you're maximizing the positioning and the aiming at that directional antenna. A great use case example for this, somebody that I've actually spent a lot of time with, they're a large rural farm and ranch supply store. They've got more than 2,300 retail locations deployed nationwide, where this is being used for failover or secondary, I should say, or primary connections. Sometimes they have two cellular pointed to two different towers where they've got where they're running an SD-WAN across it, meaning both of those connections are active. And frankly, in a lot of cases, their cellular WAN connection is providing most of the bandwidth to that location. So some really great applications there, and cool to see that. Again, that one's managed with Inseego Connect as well. Next up. Okay, last product I want to talk about is our our S2000. This is our industrial gateway. So big things that you would look for on this product are external antenna support, meaning I can have either these paddle antennas, I can go to an all-in-one that's going to be mounted on my automatic vehicle or outside of a NEMA enclosure, and it supports PoE. So I can have remote mounting. I can go all the way to the far corner of a store where they don't necessarily have the opportunity to go outside, but they still want to get better signal than they can get in that concrete or metal IT closet that they're running the rest of their gear in. It gives you a 5 gigabit Ethernet connection, so you're always going to max out the cellular capabilities that you're getting from the network. Again, a couple of use cases that have worked really well. That remote mounting, where they're running a cable across and getting to that better cellular connection. We've got a customer that's doing that, again, based on they can't go outside and the service closet doesn't do very well. So it gives them flexibility on where to put it. And then we've also got a case where somebody's using this in a NEMA enclosure with an all-in-one antenna just sitting on top of that NEMA enclosure, mounted outside with a flexible DIN rail mount. So some great capabilities, lots of different things and interesting use cases for this one. Next up. Okay, I'm going to very, very briefly talk about our software stack. I encourage anybody who wants to do a deeper dive on these to reach out. We'd love to walk you through Inseego Connect, SD Edge, and show you some of the capabilities in a more direct setting. Or if you've got a customer who requires this, we'd love to work with you for that as well. The very short version is Inseego Connect. This is our baseline device management platform. It gives you the ability to do remote configuration. It gives you the ability to do location service. It keeps history on the device. You can see how much data is passing through the device, whether the device went online or offline over time. It's really a great tool, not only for reactive management, but proactive management to look at alarms, see if you might have had a signal quality drop at a particular location. There's lots of different things you can do with this platform. And then in the MVNO and MSP space, in particular, you've got the ability to do parent-child relationships as well. So you can have one license owner for Inseego Connect that creates multiple subtenants for each of their actual end customers. So you can grant those end customers the ability to log in and see just their devices. So there's a lot of flexibility that you can do on that. SD Edge really takes that up another level. So it moves from non-real-time monitoring, where you're looking at check-in packets every 15 minutes or so, to a real-time monitoring where you're actually managing the individual VPN connections and routing decisions that are going on not only at the device level, but also in a cloud-based router. This is the other end of that secure FIPS 140-2 connection. So some very cool capabilities that Inseego 5G SD Edge opens up for us. It really gives you the ability to design that network in an agnostic fashion where you don't care about the carrier underneath. You've got the ability to give a customer a consolidated network layer regardless of how they're getting those devices connected to the wider internet. And finally, the Inseego mobile app, great tool for installation support as well as some light management that you can do remotely. Last slide. Extended warranty. I'll touch on this very briefly. We give you the ability to add extended warranty to most of our Inseego hardware. This extends our standard warranty for up to 3 or 5 years and includes software maintenance for any new firmware or features and capabilities that might get enabled over time on that platform after you've gone through the normal standard 1-year warranty on these. This also includes Inseego Care, which is a prioritized support. So you've got the ability to call in with a priority number and open up tickets with our support team in a slightly different fashion than the standard folks without Inseego Care. All right, and without further ado, I will hand it back to Carrie.
Thank you so much, Glenn. All right, now that you've heard a little bit about the history of Inseego and the highlights from our product portfolio, let's take a quicker look at our new partner program, Inseego Ignite, which is brand new for 2024, as Mike mentioned earlier today. For me, this is really more than just a program. It's my catalyst for growth. We've designed it to kind of ignite passion and inspire creativity so that we can propel all of our businesses forward. Launch of the new program is really kind of the beginning of the transformation of Inseego. Alex, next slide, please. As you'll see from this slide, we've chosen to focus our program on 3 main pillars. These embody our dedication to building partnerships that are both beneficial and long-lasting. Enablement speaks to our commitment to equip you with the tools, the skills, and support you need to be successful. And through our training and certification programs, we aim to empower you to be an extension of our sales organization. Engagement lies at the heart of the approach. We want to emphasize the importance of building strong and collaborative relationships by fostering open communication. We don't want to be just another OEM on your line card. We want to be a trusted partner where you want to work with us hand in hand. And finally, economics, for any of you on the call that are finance driven, it stresses our commitment to drive value and growth. By offering competitive incentives, attractive margins, we're not only rewarding you for your efforts, but in turn, we hope that you're encouraged to invest more time and effort into the partnership. Together, these 3 pillars form kind of the foundation of the program. Where active engagement sparks better outcome, where enablement fuels innovation, and where economics sustain your growth and ours. Alex, next slide, please. Keeping with the Ignite theme, I opted for the less traditional route of precious metal partner designations. I'm sure all of you are tired of hearing platinum, gold, and silver, and unicorn status. So instead, I'm embracing a little bit of a different approach, which is reflective of our commitment to innovation and exploration. By using these designations, I aim to embody the spirit of adventure and resilienceness that drives us all. Each tier symbolizes a journey of discovery and growth and achievement. So I hope that by embracing these less than conventional titles, we can inspire you to embark on this transformation with us. If you choose to become a partner of ours, your assignment into one of the categories will depend on a few factors. Your current business model, your reach into the market, your expertise with like products, and of course, your commitment to the partnership. As you'll see from the slide, we start off with Voyagers who want to test the waters with us, before your commitment increases and before you officially sign any paperwork to become a partner. You'll travel through as an explorer, trailblazer. And then to the far right, some people may think that this is like the top tier. Well, that's not necessarily the case here. Pioneers are, this group was designed to highlight the differences between the traditional VAR community and other partner types like regional carriers or OEMs or MSPs, where you're embedding our products into part of your solution. Next slide, Alex. So as a part of the partner with Inseego, you'll gain access to our partner portal, where you'll see training modules, marketing materials like case studies, data sheets. You can even co-brand some of this stuff with your logo so that it looks more official, so that you look like you're a partner of ours because you've been able to put your logo alongside the Inseego logo. And those of you that choose to start the journey by completing the onboarding process, you'll gain access to deal registration. Now, this is a key component of the program, and I don't have time today to go into all the details, but we certainly have a program in place where we want to protect the partner who brings us into new opportunities. I believe in the past there's been, dual deal registrations, and that's not necessarily the case today. If there are opportunities where there's large RFPs in place, maybe we introduce a SPA pricing and grant that to multiple partners. The reason I addressed that is from our earlier call today where that question did come up. All right, Alex, let's go to the next slide. All right, so I'll remind you again of my 3 pillars: engagement, enablement, and economics. Our path for demos, it kind of encompasses all 3 of those. As a channel partner, you can purchase for your internal use at 50% off. I'd say these are more for initial testing on small opportunities, or maybe your sales organization needs some units to put in their show and go bag. We do limit the number of units that you can purchase at the 50% off discount each year, but we're pretty accommodating if you need an exception on that. We also offer free proof of concept units for opportunities over 300 units. If your technical team is savvy enough to facilitate the demo and testing, you can certainly go this route. However, you will be required to coordinate a meeting with the Inseego sales rep and the end customer to validate the project. And finally, our white glove approach is what really sets us apart from my competitors. This is truly a demo unit that is expected to be returned back to Inseego at the end of the evaluation period, or a client can choose to purchase it if they so choose. We've seen better success and closure rates when one of our solutions architects are involved from day one. I don't know about you, but if the closure rates are higher when an SA is involved, I'd place my bets there. In fact, the gentleman responsible for these efforts and our team of solutions architects will be speaking in a few moments, so you'll get to meet him. All right, next slide, Alex. All right, so this is my final slide, kind of highlighting our commitment to the full strength and might of our channel partners. We are leaders in this industry. We have the best-in-class quality, and we're putting a lot of emphasis on development of everybody in our audience. There are a lot of alternatives out there, but none with the legacy that we have, nor none of them with the excitement that we bring to the table. All right, Alex, last one, I think, was just kind of here's how you get in touch with me. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me an email. Send me a text. Wave hello, whatever you want to do. But get in touch and learn more about the program. I'm interested to learn more about your business and how Inseego can help you add more value to your customers. All right. With that said, I'm going to hand it off to my good buddy Alan to talk about the MSO and SP space.
Thank you so much, Carrie. And last but not least, I'm Alan Sheik, Director of Partner Sales for the MSO, MSP, and MVNO space, and I'm joined by Rocky Pelfrey, our Vice President of Solution Architects. With the partnership between Vertex Wireless and Inseego, we're bringing a breadth of knowledge and solution experience around the MSO, MSP, and MVNO space, and enabling Vertex Wireless as a distributor gives us that ability to provide you with expertise and pre-sale support in selecting solutions and pursuing use cases specific to your business or your client's needs. So while Inseego is new in serving this space, we do have several years of experience working with some of the largest companies in this space, and we're bringing that background into our solution portfolio to serve the needs of you, our partners, and our customers. In addition, our many years of providing the wireless carriers with best-in-class hotspots and edge device solutions, we have confidence in the capabilities of our partnership with Vertex Wireless and our ability to help you succeed. So with that, I'd like to hand it to my partner on the technical side to share some of our technical pre-sale support and capabilities. So Rocky?
Excellent. Thank you, Alan. Hello, everybody. My name is Rocky Pelfrey. Thank you again for joining today. I'm the VP of Solutions Architecture or pre-sales engineering here at Inseego. My team is dedicated to supporting you on your journey to learn more about Inseego products and services. Our goal here is to empower you with the knowledge and expertise to excel within Inseego solutions. We want you to be able to streamline technical processes and ultimately close sales more effectively and more efficiently. My team is prepared to jump on any call with you all to assist with presentations, product evaluations, technical discussion, or even training you or training your customers. I am here to help you succeed, and I am personally excited to work with you all. Thank you so much, and looking forward to this journey. Back to you, Alan.
All right, excellent, Rocky. Thank you. And next slide. So here's some of the examples of the companies in the three categories that we're aligning with to create the ecosystem of solutions for you to leverage. In the MSO space are companies like Charter, Comcast, Altice, and others. You know the drill here. And while in the MVO space, we have a partnership with Khajiit and several years of experience aligning with them and working toward building the ecosystem out with other MVNOs as well. And on the MSP front, any company that has SLAs in place and most likely own title to the solutions would fall into this category, where the management platform must meet the needs of near real-time monitoring, device management, reporting stats, and other key capabilities. Next slide. We have specific products that can serve the SMB, enterprise, and residential spaces shown here. And our MiFi X Pro, for example, that was discussed earlier by Glenn, can play well as a good price point in the MSO space for residential and some SMB situations where managing the device is not as critical. However, performance, reliability, and form factor are key to serving the customer needs. And our upcoming FX3100 family is ideal for upper end residential and SMB, where inline between the DOCSIS and a router is key to our device, making the decision to fail over when the wired connection is lost. And we're road mapping future capabilities where battery backup and higher port speeds are required as well in this family. So in addition, we also have the FW2000 in 2010 for outdoor installation and higher reliability, again, as discussed earlier, and support both sub-6 gigahertz and millimeter wave in these two solutions. So Rocky, can you briefly comment on how we can help our partners and customers select and support the right management platform for their needs?
Absolutely. Thank you, Alan. So just kind of layering on top of what Glenn talked about earlier, we have three platforms that we operate here at Inseego. We have the Inseego Connect platform. That platform is really a device management platform designed for configuration management and monitoring, right? And so the second platform would be Inseego SD Edge. That's our network management platform, and that's designed to implement solutions that require network configuration like a VPN or connectivity where you expect end-to-end connectivity between maybe a remote location and a corporate location. The goal here with these platforms is for my team to help you establish the business, to understand your business guidelines around what you're trying to do with your customers and help you position the appropriate product that will fit your business needs. So that's what my team is going to do. We're going to help you evaluate these products and ensure that we're putting the right product in front of you for your business and for your customers' engagement. The Inseego mobile app, this is another application that we have, just layering on what Glenn talked about earlier. We have the ability to do site surveys off of this product and be able to determine where the best positioning is for your product when you deploy it in a specific location. So it's just an additional tool in your tool belt for you to assist your customer from an installation perspective. I'll pass it back to Alan.
All right, thanks, Rocky. Alex, next slide, please. So as noted earlier, and we've talked a lot about the MiFi X Pro already, but it's best in class, particularly for mobile hotspots, as well as having the ability to serve as failover or day one connectivity in the MSO space. And I'll note on the next slide, and the price points makes it affordable for you and your customers to leverage. We have lots of sales enablement and marketing materials that you can leverage when pursuing these kinds of solutions. So let us know how we can help here. Next slide, please. The day one use case is particularly effective when you have customers that are combing your website or talking to your teams about 5G connectivity, and you want to offer immediate service next day. As an example, you can simply overnight a MiFi X Pro to your customer with an active SIM, have them connect via Wi-Fi to on-site devices and bring them up immediately. And once they're up, you can work over the next several weeks or months to get your fiber or wired connectivity implemented and then convert them to their permanent connection if you so choose. The MiFi X Pro can be returned to your company or converted to failover as part of the solution. The FX3100 family can do the same as well. And the MiFi X Pro is just a good example of how that can be leveraged. Next slide, please. Failover is one of the most common 4G and 5G use cases in the larger and mid-size MSOs, and typically require an inline or two-port device with a WAN and a LAN port. So companies like Comcast, Charter, and many of the bigger MSOs and downstream companies now provide cellular failover to their customers. And we're glad to work with you to discuss this use case or support any of the pre-sales needs you might have. But this is a pretty common one for you to leverage as well. Next slide, please. So in closing, here are my contacts along with Rocky's for any pre-sale support where we can win together. And we look forward to working with you. Please reach out to us. This is our personal information and also another chance to scan the QR code here. But again, thank you. And Mike, back to you for questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Great information. Appreciate everything you've shown us here. Particularly the partner program looks very enticing. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to sign up for that partner program. There's a lot of great benefits to it. All right, so what I'm going to do now is open up everybody's microphones to be able to ask some questions. And I'll kick it off. One of the first questions we always get is on the device portfolios, which of your devices are certified under which carriers networks? We've got a lot of different MVNOs and regional carriers on this call, so that information on certifications would be important to them.
Yeah, Mike, great question, and one that's definitely top of mind for a lot of folks. Across the Inseego portfolio in general, we strive to have multi-carrier certification on all the major US carriers, so T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. The portfolio that I walked through earlier, all of those products will have multi-carrier certification across those three major US carriers, with the exception of that millimeter wave one that we really didn't spend a lot of time on. That one is Verizon specific. And if you've got a millimeter wave thing out there, reach out, talk to us. It's a great product for those type of networks, but again, there's just not the deployment on AT&T and T-Mobile. So otherwise, multi-carrier across the board, that's really our approach from a channel product perspective to make sure that works everywhere.
Perfect. And I'll add for you regional carriers that are on the line here, running your own private spectrums, best bet is to let's get a demo device in your hands and let you guys test with your SIM cards and your network.
Yeah, we've really got a very large band support and ENDC combo set that's enabled on these devices. So we'd love to talk to you about specifics and see how it works on your deployment.
Absolutely, and we'll disclose all those banding on the spec sheets and future marketing materials to come, so you guys can preview those. Good deal. Well, you guys all have control over your microphones now, so if you want to unmute yourself, please let us know what questions, what comments do you guys have? Any questions?
Yeah, this is Brian Sipe. I just want to say it's an outstanding portfolio. I got to tell you, it's very impressive products. They're very attractive, and I appreciate the time that you've put in to talk to our customers today. Really, thank you for that. looking forward to getting started. And I know our team's excited about it. I know Martin's excited about it. I'm sure he's got lots of questions that he's probably already asked. But again, I want to give a big shout out to the Inseego crew. Thank you very much for your support. We look forward to selling Inseego.
Thanks, Brian.
Excellent.
We appreciate the partnership.
Brian Sight, president of Vertex there. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the commentary there. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, you guys know how to get a hold of us. Reach out to your Vertex rep, and if you have any questions or follow-up needed, let us know. Again, thank you, Inseego team. Appreciate your time. Appreciate the presentation.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.